Today on the list, why pickleball is still skyrocketing in popularity, how Paul Rudd helped his on-screen daughter, and
it is delicious, it is fresh, and I made that.
Yeah, there you go.
easy tips to grow food at home.
Usually about 4 leaves is all you need.
Okay.
Plus, save time and money with a daytime date.
The wonderful thing about a day date is it can happen Monday to Friday.
But up first, how to make yourself invaluable at work. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Rhodes. Now you've heard it in the news. Tens of thousands of people are being laid off. Companies including Google, Amazon, and Zoom are all hacking back their staff. So how to safeguard yourself from a pink slip? Well, something called upskilling might help you save your job. A millennial money expert explains how upskilling works, and that's our featured story at the top of the list.
The show Going From Broke helps Americans climb out of crippling debt.
44 million people have borrowed over $1.5 trillion in student loan debt.
It's produced by Ashton Kutcher and hosted by entrepreneur Dan Rosenswag and financial expert Tanya Rapley. She says a process called upskilling may help keep your job safe. Here's how you do it. First, seek out stretch opportunities.
You're looking for other options to expand your expertise outside of your current role.
Ask your boss if there are opportunities in another department at work, or say,
Hey, I have this experience outside of my particular role that I would like to lend to the company as well.
She suggests maybe doing this extra work for free.
That allows you to develop that skill more as well as demonstrate yourself as an even more valuable employee.
Next, she says, stay plugged in.
Staying plugged in means that you're allowing yourself to continue to learn about your position as well as continuing to learn about your industry.
Follow industry leaders on LinkedIn and read journals or articles so you're in the know.
Attending conferences, webinars, anything that you can do to really broaden your understanding of the industry that you operate in and where it is going.
Another important step is to network. And try to find a mentor at company events or by joining professional associations.
A mentor doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be older than you. A mentor just means they might have more experience than you or experience that you can learn from.
And there are different ways to mentor.
Sometimes mentorship is you have a standard meeting with this person and you meet with them on a regular basis.
Or you simply email them questions for feedback.
Maybe you just meet them at an event and you go out for lunch after the conference and you talk to them and they give you valuable career advice.
And keep on learning, continuing your education.
A lot of people have school debt. And so people might be hesitant to go back to school or continue their education and broaden their skill sets because they're like, the last thing I need is debt.
But Tanya says there are tons of free classes online. Look up something called MOOCs.
So mass open online courses, and they'll allow you to study for free with some of the leading institutions in the world.
We're talking Ivy League, and afterward, announce it on LinkedIn, social media, and add it to your resume. Finally, career mapping.
There are some careers that have career maps baked into them, like you think about the medical professions or the legal professions.
You know, you go to med school and then do a residency.
For people who aren't in those professions, you kind of have to do it yourself.
She says hop on LinkedIn and find people who are in the jobs you want.
And look at what they've done in their career to get to that place.
And then you have a career map to copy. Catch more advice from Tanya on Going From Broke. You can watch it on the free Crackle app. Upskilling to keep your job safe from layoffs is at the top of the list.
Nothing tastes better than food fresh from the garden, but the idea of growing your own produce can be intimidating. But the reality is you can probably do it, actually enjoy it, and in the end save yourself both time and money.
With the price of everything going up, it might be time to eat local.
When people talk about eating local, what's the most local we can get?
Your yard. That's the easiest way to get it.
To help you grow your own food, we spoke with Justin Rohner, founder of agriscaping.com. To start, you need healthy soil.
If you got healthy soil, you're going to have a healthy plant. You have a lot less problems all the way through the process to getting your food.
But it takes more than just dirt to have a healthy soil.
You basically just want something that's deep, well-draining, and holds moisture like a sponge. The ideal soil has got the moisture of chocolate cake.
Okay.
And about that crumbly. And so some of the ingredients, we've got a number of different things here, from some different sands and soils, some mulches. But ultimately what you're looking for is a mix of all of these things to have 1/3 biomass, 1/3 native soil can be mixed in, and then 1/3 some vermiculites or things that create air space.
And if you have worms in your soil,
If you got worms in there, you got a good healthy soil.
next up, healthy starts.
Now you can start with seeds, but what we find is newbies, when it gets into gardening, when the seed starts growing, they're not sure, is that the right seed or is that a weed seed?
I've always pulled the, go out to weed and I end up pulling out all the things I planted.
Justin recommends starting with something more mature.
When you go to a store, you're gonna find that you don't want any roots really hitting out the bottom. You want things that have started off, they're a lot smaller. Usually about 4 leaves is all you need to be able to transplant. If it has less than 4 leaves, that's not likely a good transplant.
And when you do transplant, plant at the same level as the previous soil and water immediately. But before you transplant, know your yard.
You have some charts and graphs here because some of this is dependent on where you live, right?
Correct. I mean, you can grow things pretty much anywhere. I mean, indoors, outdoors, full sun or full shade, there's a possibility as long as you got the right information. And the information is really what you want to make sure you have in your routine. It's like our garden planning software helps people out anywhere in the country. Put in your zip code, helps align your weather patterns so that you know what to plant when, and then when do you harvest it, all the care instructions.
You can find out how to care for the plants in your yard at agriscaping.com or just Google microclimates. And lastly, make sure you have a healthy routine.
So you're planting it, you're caring for it, you're watering it, and then you're harvesting it, and then you're returning things back to the soil. So you think about the life cycle of a plant. That's the parts that you want to have in your routine.
Is this going to taste better because I knew I grew it?
I sure think it does. We'll see what you think.
It is delicious, it is fresh, and I made that.
Yeah, there you go.
We're growing food at home, right in our own backyard.
For many of us, our work schedules are more flexible post-pandemic, and that can make it possible to date or hang out with your spouse during the day. Now that opens up all kinds of possibilities, so Hattie D. Jamal is offering up some reasons to give day dating a try.
When it comes to going on a date, getting all gussied up after work can feel like a chore.
Rushing home, changing outfits, getting freshened up, and then beating rush hour can already make the date much more stressful when you're going from work to an evening date.
But there's an alternative. We asked celebrity matchmaker and relationship expert Carmelia Ray about the benefits of day dating. For starters, flexibility keeps things fresh.
The wonderful thing about a day date is it can happen Monday to Friday.
Whether it's a Tuesday at noon or a Thursday at 2 p.m.
Looking forward to hanging out with your romantic partner or just getting a break from the mundane will make your day fly by quicker.
You won't be drained.
A lot of people who get ready for work during the day, they're awake at 6 a.m. And so when you're thinking about going on a date 12 hours later after a long day, that nighttime date is less and less appealing.
Instead, a day date can put pep in your step.
You're going to be able to talk to your coworkers about that exciting date that you have. So it brings a lot of social time to a busy work day.
And if the date goes well,
you've got all the good endorphins, you're feeling great, your mood is lifted. And now when you're home, you can actually relax because you got the date over with.
Next, you can avoid nighttime crowds.
Day dates give you the opportunity to be a little bit more creative. In addition, it's easier access to get to things like a museum or a midday matinee.
There's also less pressure to dress to the nines.
Most day dates are rather casual. People aren't necessarily booking fine dining,
which lowers stress,
rather than having to worry and fight for reservations.
And day dating can remove the ritual of drinking.
So you actually have a better, more organic connection of knowing who this person really is.
Finally, it can save you money.
What's beautiful about the day date, especially for married people with children, is that the kids are in school, they're at the babysitter.
And many experiences are less expensive during the day.
You've got your day rate, and then it goes up by 20-30% if you go to the same experience at night.
Especially at crowded restaurants.
On top of that, you're not fighting for volume. So day dating, put that in your calendar and save time, money, and get closer to your partner.
Putting dating in a whole new light.
Still to come on the list, the sport that's sweeping the nation.
All of this is just crazy, fun, exciting, and nothing we ever saw coming.
And discover the beauty in a less traveled destination.
Out here, the desert is every bit as alive as it makes you feel.
Plus, the latest addition to the world of Marvel superheroes.
I'm still figuring her out, and I think she's still got a long way to go.
All that and more ahead on the list.
We're back. Now, if you haven't hit the pickleball court yet, let's just say you're behind the times. It's America's fastest growing sport and has become a favorite of everyone from kids to seniors. Christina grabbed a paddle and learned why it's so popular from some of the game's best.
Say hello to the Johnsons, 3 members of a family who all play competitive pickleball.
So when you guys started playing pickleball, did you guys have any idea that you would become the pro family of pickleball?
We didn't think anything when we started playing pickleball, so all of this is just crazy, fun, exciting, and nothing we ever saw coming.
JW and his sister Georgia are pro pickleball players, and their mom Julie is on the senior circuit. Based in Florida, they travel cross-country competing in tournaments.
Okay, let's do it. Pro pickling. Here we go.
First, let's look at what pickleball is. It was invented in the 60s by 3 fathers on Bainbridge Island in Washington state. According to the Bainbridge Historical Society, the name pickleball came from pickle boats involved in rowing. They say a rumor that the name came from a family dog just isn't true.
Yes!
It's a combination of badminton, ping pong, and tennis.
It's very similar to tennis, but how is it different? The equipment, for instance, is different.
The paddle is a lot smaller, and the court is also a lot smaller. I think you can fit about 4 pickleball courts on 1 tennis court.
This sport skyrocketed during the pandemic.
I just went in wanting to play a sport with my family, especially during COVID because everything shut down. So we just put down taped lines in an abandoned parking lot and started playing amongst the 3 of us.
Here are some reasons why more people are playing pickleball.
I think pickleball is so popular because of how social it is, and all you really need is a paddle and a ball, and they're relatively inexpensive.
Paddles start at $15 and a can of balls are $12.
It's light, it's not super heavy, it's on the smaller side for sure. I feel like I could make some pancakes on this.
Yes.
The Johnsons recently signed a deal with a major sporting goods company to produce these products with their photo on them.
That's super fun to have your face on the pickleball.
Yeah, this is the new Franklin design.
Georgia also thinks so many people like playing pickleball because it's good exercise, but not too strenuous, so all ages can play.
Mom is so good.
You're doing a lot of squatting, you're trying to stay low, and then there's of course your arm movements with your strokes.
And here's why the Johnsons think pickleball will continue to grow.
Professional pickleball really only took off 2 years ago.
Before 2020, there was only a couple tournaments here and there, and now there are 3 and growing professional pickleball tours.
Celebrities are investing in their own pickleball teams to play in all of those tournaments. Reportedly, NBA star LeBron James, model Heidi Klum, actress Eva Longoria, and NFL player Tom Brady are a few.
Also, we might see it at the Olympics. That's crazy.
Yes, that's my dream, is for it to get into the Olympics and to be able to play.
Mom, you are great!
With winter winding down, it's time to break out. Whether you crave the excitement of a city or some outdoor exploration, we've rounded up a few spring vacation destinations we think you'll love across America. Coming in at number 1, Moab, Utah.
We've always been a place where wandering souls find new challenges and discover new perspectives.
It's the perfect place to let go of your worries and enjoy nature.
Tiny pools and potholes are home to creatures as unique as our landscape.
This location offers breathtaking scenery and outdoor activities like fishing, biking, and more.
So many of the trails are accessible to just about anybody that comes into the area. We've got trails for people that want to hike the long distance, short trails for people that don't want to hike.
For more info, visit discovermoab.com. At number 2, Chicago, Illinois.
It's a real honor today to say that Chicago has been named Best Big City for the 6th year in a row by Condé Nast Traveler's Reader's Choice Awards.
From vibrant neighborhoods to sandy beaches, this location offers endless attractions.
They might go to a museum, they might take the kids to the Shedd Aquarium.
And as you stroll through the streets or go on a riverboat tour, you'll find historic architecture, art, and more.
So what makes Chicago so great? Maybe it's our 28 miles of lakefront or our 600 parks. Maybe it's our fabulous cultural institutions.
But let's not forget their incredible dining scene.
Everything from a corner pub with great beer to James Beard award-winning restaurants.
For more info, visit ChooseChicago.com. And last on our spring vacation destination list is Key West, Florida.
Dating back to the early 1800s, the tiny island now attracts artists, writers, treasure divers, enthusiastic anglers, and escapees from the everyday world.
This tropical setting will immerse you in history, delicious cuisine, and natural beauty.
Tour museums and attractions. Discover treasure salvaged from shipwrecked Spanish galleons. And dine at gourmet restaurants.
And if you want to party, the entertainment never stops.
Check out the jazz clubs, wine and piano bars, drag shows, and saloons with live rock and island music.
To know more, visit fla-keys.com. We're blowing away the winter blues at these unforgettable vacation destinations across America. There's a lot more to come on the list. Stay right there. We're back, and on today's watch list, we're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which made well over $350 million globally the first week of its release. Jackie Denker has a behind-the-scenes look at the movie with one of its stars.
Who the hell are you? I'm Ant-Man. Ant-Man? What, you haven't heard of me?
It's been 8 years since the first Ant-Man movie, and in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the superhero's daughter is all grown up, now played by Catherine Newton.
Jump tap. You see what I did?
No, you're like this small. Catherine gave us a behind-the-scenes look at the movie and being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I think it's an honor to be a part of the legacy of Ant-Man and Marvel Studios.
Much of the movie takes place in the quantum realm, so CGI or computer-generated imagery brings that world to life.
Where are we? That was really an interesting process. We're on a volume stage with all these lights, and we're on a green screen looking at nothing or a piece of tape, and it's supposed to be terrifying. It's MODOK. You ready?
Ready.
The best part is that once you start to feel a little bit ridiculous, I'd look over at Paul and he would look absolutely ridiculous, but for one take or something, and then we get it together and we're like really in it. I was able to let go of feeling ridiculous and just really be grounded in Cassie and what she's really feeling.
I know how to do it, Dad.
Oh, do you?
Next, if keeping track of the Marvel Cinematic Universe seems hard, the actors feel the same way.
I don't think I'll ever be an expert, and I think I'm always going to be learning.
Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you an Avenger? That doesn't make sense.
I thought I was an expert, like I've seen all the movies, but there's so much to know, and the other cool thing is there's so much to discover. There's so many comics. Even for Cassie Lang, I got all the comics. This is a new girl. This is a new version of her, a new young hero. So I'm still figuring her out, and I think she's still got a long way to go.
I have a suit! Luckily, Catherine has an incredible Marvel mentor in Paul Rudd.
He's really funny. Everyone knows he's funny. He's also just extremely intelligent. I didn't know how how smart he was.
You have a chance to be the hero and earn that look in your daughter's eyes.
He knows a lot about movies and cinema, and he knew all this stuff about Paul Newman, about athletes, and I'm like, huh, this guy's really smart.
Right now, the only job I want is being a dad.
For more of our interview with Catherine, check out the guest list on our YouTube channel, The List Show TV.
You gotta go there, you gotta commit, and that's what I learned from this movie. You can't be afraid of anything, you just gotta do it.
Going behind the scenes of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania on the watch list. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's time for what's last on our list. Now, the Washington Post reported that ketchup maker Heinz went on a worldwide search to find the ketchup boat guy, who survived on mostly ketchup while lost at sea, which led me to Google the list of most popular condiments. And as Google searches tend to do, it led me down a completely different path, because according to the healthyjournal.com, salsa is the most popular condiment in the world. Okay, but only one problem with that. Salsa isn't a condiment, it's a dip. So when you Google, is salsa a condiment or a dip, you find out this is a hotly debated topic because people online evidently have a lot of time on their hands. So the website culinarydebates.com says, yes, salsa is a condiment. But the Association of Dressings and Sauces, and yes, there is such a thing, says the word salsa literally translates as sauce. So they don't think salsa is a condiment or a dip, they think it's a sauce. Okay, so if you Google condiment versus sauce versus dip, this is a thing. So there's a website, spicerally.com, coming to the rescue with an explanation. They say condiment is a broad category that encompasses both sauces and dips. Sauces are used as an ingredient in a dish, and dips are usually served as an embellishment to the side of a dish. So just like ketchup boat guy, when it comes to condiments, turns out I'm also lost at sea. Folks, that's what's last on our list. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tomorrow on the list, easy tips to get a better night of sleep.
That's when all the regenerative activities that the body has available to us work for us.
Plus, why getting to know your neighbors can improve your health.
I just feel better. I feel like I'm more connected.
And
throw a little sprinkle of granola on top of that. It just adds a little bit of texture and crunch to it.
the healthy breakfast that's ready when you are.
Oh, wow. That is good.
Tomorrow on the list.